I swear to God, I never saw so many people complaining about United States in all other countries of this world except the United States itself. Like, guys who live in US, you are crazy, like, honestly, like, in a good way, of course. Even those Middle Eastern countries who hates only Jews more than Americans, they are not hate America as much as Americans hate America. Some of the Americans, I guess I need to say, but almost every single person who lived here, I'm living in Texas, by the way, right now, and I'm sorry for my English, it's not perfect, I'm still learning, so I will make mistakes, yeah. Sorry in advance. Okay, I will say one simple fact. How we know is this thing a bad or it's good in comparison, right? When you live in an abusive family, when your parents beat you throughout the day for some small stupid shit, but all of the families live like that in your society, would you think something wrong going on here? No, you wouldn't. You would see everybody lives like you. You will be completely satisfied with your life because that's normal. That's what you would think. A good comparison, right? Because I was born and raised in Ukraine, which is former USSR, which was in the past country close to Russia by the mentality, right? And we all grew up raised by force. The vast majority of us was beaten by our own parents, and I thought there is nothing wrong with it, like, because we all live like that. Then I realized many years ago that some countries exist on this planet called United States, when you can actually call the cops and complain about, hey, my parents beat the fucking shit out of me, like, help! And the cops actually will. Your parents can actually be punished for their own actions towards you, right? Well, guess what? There was nothing even close to that in Ukraine back to those times when I was a kid. So all I had to do is just live and suffer. Like, I'm not even complaining they beated me like too much. Even right now, personally, me, considering that like, well, not so bad. I still got shit to eat and put on myself. I wasn't naked on the streets in winter. You know this Russian-Ukrainian winter, right? You literally will die without the clothing outside. So just like in the States on the north, but whole country like that, you know, Ukraine. And guess what I hear from every single person I've met in United States here? They all lived a horrible childhood. They all get abused mentally, if not even physically. Their parents are horrible. Their life are like, come on, I'm not the right person who can complain about your childhood. Complain to your wealthy American friends, like, about your horrible childhood in a house like this with the 4 bedrooms, because we lived in a fucking studio by 7 people inside of it, like 1 room for 7 people. Like, I'm not saying I lived like that, I'm saying majority of us living like that, especially back to those times when I was a kid. Like, honestly, you living in the most wealthier, if I can say like that, I don't know is that even a word, but you got me. I would not be so wrong if I will say the best country in the world, which called United States of America, which rules all the world abroad. And that is good. Despite the fact I'm like, now I'm scrolling TikTok, I see all these complaints about America do that, America do this, saying by Americans itself. You are wealthy. You have almost $5,000 average salary in the whole country, right? Exactly because you rule all outside world. Exactly because of that. So be happy that things go your way. Don't complain about America intervened somewhere there or somewhere here. What did we do in Iraq? Like, you gently conquered all world by your American United States dollar, and this is the good thing for you, for your country. Like, nothing can be better than that. You need to say, God bless America for the way we live in here. Like, we're wealthy. Despite the fact the majority of America I meet here, they say we're so broke. We don't have enough money to pay for, I don't know, $150 for my car insurance. Like, the fact that your insurance worth $150 in a month and majority of your population can afford that. Should I say there is a lot of countries there when $150 is people actually average wage per month? You know, I'll better tell you the story. When I first came to Texas and I got to my gym, during one of my first visiting, there was a guy there who actually offered to subscribe on him. I don't know why he did that. Like, this is not the way it works. Like, you know that, right? Like, you need to do the content, and this will be much more efficient than just asking people to subscribe, and it doesn't matter. And he heard my accent, and he was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Ukraine. And he definitely, I see the emptiness in his eyes. Like, he doesn't know shit about Ukraine. And he was like, you know, America is sucks. And I was like, come on, man, you can't say that to me. You can't, no, you won't complain about your country to me, the guy from Ukraine. Our average salary is $400 to $600, and that was before the war. And I actually came out of a war. Like, there is a war, you know, with Russia right now there. Yeah, my parents almost got killed by the missiles from the Russia, you know. You can't say to me America is piece of shit. No, you can't say that to me. No, you can call me anything you want, but you can't call me that. And I was like, polite and gentle, I was like, it's actually not true. You know, America is pretty better than majority of the countries on the entire world. And he was like, oh, really? Okay, never mind. Can you subscribe on me? You know, the point of this story, the guy tries to get his money on the phone made it by American citizens, right? iPhone, designed in California. On the social network, which was Instagram, made it by Americans again. And you can get a lot of money from this fucking shit. I know, because I'm a Russian-speaking YouTuber, pretty successful, at least I was, before the war has started. And I know how much money you can get from YouTubing, blogging, all this shit. So you actually trying to use the results of imagination of American citizens, sponsored by American citizens, developed in the United States of America, and yeah, iPhone manufactured in China, but it doesn't matter, like, we need cheap labor to get these things cheaper, right? Made it up is much more complicated than just build it. So you're doing all this shit, you know how much money you can get from this, like doing nothing, just posting shit on Instagram, and you will get tons of money. And this is all because of the Americans. And you complaining to me about how America is Jesus fucking Christ. The other thing I'm always hearing from Americans, we don't have real democracy. Even Russia or China have better democracy than we are. Dear Americans, please don't say shit what you don't know about. First, try to live in Russia or China. I don't know a lot about China, but I definitely know a lot about Russia because I had a business in Russia. I have business right now in Russia. And I lived in Ukraine for 29 years of my life, which is in past was similar to Russia country. We all was the part of USSR. I know this mentality. I know how those countries are works or work. Should I use plural here? I think not, I'm sorry. I don't know. Well, see, I don't know a lot about English. I'm not gonna teach you, but you definitely can trust me when I'm saying you have one of the best democracy in an entire world. Do you enjoy how you don't like Trump or Biden and you can go outside with the poster says F Biden or F Trump on it, right? You can do that, you know that, right? Nobody will do shit to you. Police will not get you into the jail for that. Well, in Russia, it will. You can say Putin is a piece of shit, go to the jail. You can say, I love my mom, go to the jail. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not joking. You can just leave it poster empty and just go on the streets of Russia with the poster saying nothing on it, go to the jail. You can say something on social media, like there is some shit called VK Kontakte, translated in touch on English. So if you will say something about Putin, they're bad, or something about war against Russia, you will say something against Russia, go to the jail. If you will say to your children, trying to teach them that war is a bad thing, and these children go to their class and their teacher asks these children, what do you think about war in Ukraine? And they will say, well, our parents told us this is the bad thing, go to the f***ing jail. But you know what you can do in Russia? You can beat the f*** up shit from your children, from your wives, and from your husbands, like too, of course. Domestic Violence, domestic abuse, it's not even a criminal crime in Russia. It was decriminalized, if I say this word correctly, like it's not a criminal crime anymore, it's administrative crime. I'm not sure I'm giving you the right words on English right now. You are not going to jail for these kinds of crime. You're going to be fine if you will prove the fact of home violence, you know. What you actually can do in Russia is kill someone, rape someone, you go to the jail. The month after, you will be freed because you sign up the contract with army of Russia and you will go to the war. And if you will survive, go back to Russia as a free person. Go back to the streets. And a lot of Russians right now complaining about this, the killers of their daughters, sons, parents, like literally the rapists, the killers, they are getting back on the streets of Russia, not even spending a year in the jail after killing someone or someone. This is what actually legal in Russia. When we're talking about stealing your taxes, right? Which a lot of Americans are complaining about our government stealing our taxes. In Russia, when you pay your taxes, you can forget about this money. It's not even yours anymore. Like nobody even will say something to you about this money in the future. You can forget about it for good. The Russian government is not even will try to convince you, to persuade you that they are doing something good for you on this money. No, they won't. They will just say, this is our money right now. Forget about it. Like, I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating right now. Yeah, they have their budget, but this is all a joke. Like, in reality, all money in the Russia belongs to Putin. Putin have all power of his whole country in his bare hands. The one person rule the whole country. That's how corrupted Russia is, and that's why Putin can be mad after he will wake up in some random day in the morning and he will start the war because nobody will stop him. There is no people in Russia who can deny Putin to say or do something. Those people are just not existed. If he will decide, he will choose some random Russian woman on the streets and her, no matter what. Like, is she married? Is she dumb? Is she old? Is she young? Is she adult? Or is she a child? It doesn't matter. He will do this. Nobody will say shit to him. So please, never compare your American democracy with this Russian shit called democracy. Democracy. You honestly don't know what the you're talking about. So please stop. You live in one of the great countries in all over the world, almost the wealthiest nation by the average wage, and you definitely are the wealthiest country and all over the world. Your GDP, $27 trillion per year. $27 trillion. How much do you think Russia GDP is? Less than 2. Texas produced more money than that whole Russia itself. And the Russia is the biggest country in the world, I will remind you. And population of Russia a little bit more than only twice less than yours. And they producing something around $2 trillion. Right now, after the war, it's even less. They are trying to manipulate by their statistics, so you can't never rely on their statistics. Comes out from Russia, of course. The Russia is full of propaganda, like it's another story. But in general, they are broke motherfuckers in comparison to you. I know healthy criticism should exist in every single country. You need to make these motherfuckers in the government work. That's normal thing. Yes, I know. But when you saying you are living so broke, your country is so horrible, you don't have even real democracy. Come on, please. Especially if you was born and raised and never lived, and I mean not tourist, I mean live in other country abroad, which is not one of the Europe countries, of course. They are wealthy too. So please, don't talk about things you don't know shit about. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your great country.